it's Thursday night, it's live. So today this is the one I was going to do pre-Christmas, but unfortunately it was the day that my dad ended up in hospital, so it got cancelled. I've not prepared a script, so it is going to be a bit ad hoc. So if you join live and you've got any questions or there's anything you want to know, just pop a comment in the comments. Yeah, and like I say, ask some questions. I've trolled through. I used to do complimentary therapies. When did I start doing them? I did about 20 years ago. Started off with reflexology and Indian head massage and ear candling, and then sort of over a few years, over several years, I did a whole host. And I used to have a file, and I've got it somewhere, about, and I used to use for sort of for clients and doing things, for an explanation of what each therapy was. I thought I could see it in my head what it looked like, and when I went into the cupboard and thought, there it is, I found this, and it's something totally different, and I really do need to just try and track it down and find out what it is. So what I've got is, I have found a whole load of stuff I've forgotten I've got, and even found some certificates of courses I'd forgotten I'd done, because I used to go do like certificate collection. Used to go on a course and then you speak to somebody who'd done something else, and I need to go and do that. So I ended up having doing reflexology, Indian head massage, ear candling, holistic facials, non-medical nutrition, aromatherapy, massage, and then a little bit of crystals, advanced reflexology, so ear, vertical and hand reflexology. I found something, I forgot I'd done metamorphic technique as well, Korean hand massage Korean hand massage, and I did a head and foot massage, head and foot massage. I can't remember which country that's from. So there's a whole load of different things out there. Plus I did used to volunteer at the local hospice and do treatments on patients and also visitors as well. Hi Lorraine! Sort of family members as well, and when we were trained to do like reflexology and massage, you were always told, if you've had an organ removed, you shouldn't go over that area. So I went to Christie Hospital, which is in Manchester, and it is the local sort of the cancer hospital in the northwest. And at the time, this was the early 2000s, they had a complementary therapy unit, and they had 2 paid complementary therapists on staff who supported the patients going in for treatment. And those that physically couldn't get out of the car to go into the hospital for their chemo or the radiotherapy, they used to go down and do a sort of emergency treatments with them. And then they had volunteer staff, and they used to run courses to fund the department and to keep fund the department and keep the volunteers in. So I did a whole load of cancer. They did a cancer care diploma there as well, and just doing that, did a whole range of other courses as well. So yeah, like I said, I had done a wide range of different therapies and stuff like that. And like I say, it's a long time since I've done them. I think the last one I did was Bowen therapy, which is absolutely fantastic. But I started off with reflexology. So sort of the reflexology, I don't know if you've had it. I was given a spa voucher sort of in the mid-90s by my brother. So I went along to this spa, and I thought, I'm going to try this reflexology, see what a load of rubbish it is. And I remember lying on the treatment bed in the room, and lying there and sort of being, this is going to be a whole load of rubbish, with my arms folded, and the therapist said, just relax and close your eyes, put your arms down by the side. And within about 2 minutes I'd melted into the couch, and I came out of that treatment felt high as a kite, wanted to hug everybody, wanted to kiss everybody, felt absolutely amazing. And that sort of sparked my interest in complementary therapy. 'Therapy. 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 ' um, learning how to do it. But at that time, the colleges were only teaching it alongside aromatherapy, which I wasn't interested in doing. I had no interest in aromatherapy. I just wanted to do the reflexology and see why I should have to attend classes and do work for something I wasn't really interested in. So I hung out. I went, just sort of carried on, and then about 12 months later I ended up with chronic fatigue. After I got flu and was off work for 2 months in total. I went back for 4 weeks and was off for 4 weeks, back for a week, and then went back off for 4 weeks again, and ended up with post-viral chronic fatigue, so sort of the similar, post, long COVID type thing. Had two courses of antidepressants, because they said with the fatigue, it was, I was getting up at like 10 o'clock in the morning, staying awake for 2 hours, and then having a sleep, and then struggling to walk more than 3 houses down the street. And the GP said to me, the thing with, because you're so tired you get depressed, and because you're depressed you get more tired, which makes you more depressed, and you just get into this vicious cycle. So we went on the antidepressants to sort of break that cycle, and the first lot really worked, and I felt fantastic. It got improved the mood, had more energy, but it slowly then the fatigue came back. So I tried St. John's wort as well, because that's like a natural antidepressant. The first time I tried that worked, helped a little bit, and then it just stopped working, and then I tried antidepressants again, but they didn't work that time. So I was just really struggling, wondering what to do. Working in theatre, sort of operating theatre at the time, doing orthopaedics, which is a really heavy speciality, because you're having to lift patients, you're having to lift limbs as well, putting lots of using power tools, heavy trays with heavy equipment in them, and stuff like that. So I was really exhausted, and one of the girls that I worked with said, why don't you try reflexology? It's supposed to be really good for this. So I thought, oh well, I'll give it a go. I really enjoyed that last time, So I went and had it, and found there was a little sort of clinic. It wasn't really a spa, it was a therapy centre sort of near the hospital. So I went there and spoke to this girl, and she was absolutely amazing. I ended up going to her for years and years. So I started off with reflexology, and it was just amazing. She would say to me, Julie, is your shoulder sore? And I was going, no, it's fine. And then next morning I'd wake up in absolute agony because she'd unblocked the blockage that was something wrong with my shoulder. But that was the thing that got me out of the post-viral fatigue. That was the thing. Having initially, I had weekly sessions, and then I built them up to 2 weekly, and then eventually had them monthly, and I had them monthly for years. And it was only when I started doing my proper training that I stopped having the regular treatments, because I was having treatments at college and then going to see another therapist that wasn't very good. I had that. So we'll start off with reflexology. So I was hoping to do this in Zoom and share my screen, but unfortunately I can't work out. I've got a glitch in the system somewhere, and Facebook won't let me Zoom connect through Zoom for some bizarre reason. So what I've done is I've found some stuff about reflexology. So reflexology has been around for hundreds of years. It was there's pictures of it being done in how the ancient Egyptians. There's a picture of somebody there with a foot and a piece of stick, someone holding a stick and poking a foot, and that's classed as sort of reflexology. So said that's reflexology. Then you've got the Chinese have been doing reflexology for hundreds of years. The Chinese, again, they use sticks. If you go for Chinese reflexology, it's not like you would do in the sort of Western Europe, where you sort of use your fingers and your thumbs. So modern reflexology has been around sort of from the beginning of the 20th century. And you'll have to excuse me because I can't remember the name of the people who brought it about. I'm just trying to... struggling to find the history of it. So it started off, there was a doctor who was actually an ear, nose and throat surgeon in America, and he realised that if he, by pressing on different parts of the foot, he could numb areas that he needed to operate on. And he came up with a therapy called zone therapy. So zone therapy is basically, if you think of your feet as your soul, if you think of that as a foot, the sole of a foot. So zone therapy is you have 5 zones. So in between your toes, you draw a line, and then you've got that zone. And zone therapy is basically just going up and down that zone. One foot and then the other foot. And that's that is, if you haven't been trained in reflexology, zone therapy is a very basic reflexology type of reflexology that you could do to help yourself. The surgeon, again I can't remember his name, eventually started working. I think she was with a physiotherapist. I think she was a physiotherapist, but that could be wrong, and I can't remember her name either. She eventually managed to map the body on the feet, so how we have modern reflexology now. So I'll show you that. So oops, trying to hold it up. So this is sort of one of the charts I used to do. So if you think of the 2 feet, this is your head here. Your big toes are the head. And this is going out to your shoulder, and again to your shoulder, and then down the outside, so down to your leg, and then going down the inside of your foot, you've got the spine. So when you go down, if you do it on my hand, if you go down your sort of along the edge of your foot, along the metatarsal bones, that is your spine. Okay. And then your legs sort of come across and are in a bit funny position. So the top half of your foot, sort of up here, so where the sort of the big bump is on your foot, before it goes, you have the my brain's having a long day today, so my brain's a bit confuddled. The instep, sort of above the instep, that's like your thoracic cavities, that's your heart and your lungs up there. And then you've got down here, you've got up sort of to your heel, you've got the abdominal cavity, so that's where you've got your liver and your kidneys and your bowel is a lot of it. And then on the inside of your heel, that's where you've got like the uterus. So when I was having periods, I used to have really, really painful periods. I used to when I was in bed, I used to get my heels together and then rub the inside of my heel to ease the pain from my period pain, and it worked. It does really work. I mean, reflexology is amazing. What the therapists are doing is they're going over the areas and they're feeling for little crystals, and the crystals indicate there's a blockage, an energy blockage in that area. So they're clearing that energy, which is why you sometimes have the side effects or the pain the following day, because of suddenly the energy can get through. And depending on what, every reflexology will do a treatment differently. We were taught to do the right foot first, then the left foot, then the right foot, then the left foot. Some reflexologies will just do the right foot twice and then the left foot twice. Some reflexology will go through the organ, so they'll do the whole head and then maybe the face and just go down to the shoulders. They'll do all the lungs before they go on to the liver, before they go on to the stomach, and before they go on to the bowel. They do the whole bowel. So whoever you go to, it will be different. Some may be trained in aromatherapy. I went to one who was an aromatherapist as well. And after she did her initial assessment, going all over the foot, she would make an assessment and then go and find relevant essential oils for what she thought, or what her findings were for. And that was really good. So some are trained in sort of managing hormones. So if you were going for menopausal symptoms, you'd be looking at managing the cortisol, your adrenal glands. You'd be looking at the ovaries, and maybe the hypothalamus and stuff like that, to try and sort of manage everything, making sure the bowels going and things like that. But if you've never had reflexology, I would definitely recommend giving it a go, because it is such a relaxing thing. I mean, I used to absolutely love doing it. And like I said, there's different types. There's reflexology on the feet, and vertical reflexology is another type of reflexology. That is when the person is actually stood up, so you're working on the top of mainly on the top of the foot with a little bit underneath. Normal reflexology treatment would be about an hour. A vertical one isn't as long, so you're not stuck because you stood up all the time. It wouldn't be as long as that. And besides doing it on the hands, you can for feet. It's also on the hands as well. So the hand layout is exactly the same as the foot, and the layout mirrors your body. So the right side of your body is reflected in your right foot, the left side in your left foot. And if you've had, for example, like you've had a hysterectomy, a reflexologist would be able to tell without you telling them, because there should be like a dip in the area where the uterus was, and it's not anymore. So it's really, really, really weird how it works like that. It's also facial reflexology. I don't know. I haven't done any work on facial reflexology, so I don't know what the layout of the face is. But we did do ear reflexology. So with ear reflexology, the whole body is on the ear, and it's like a fetus. So the head is sort of your earlobe, and then that's your spine going round there and going down to your legs and things like that, and you're having to work right in the ear for all sorts of bits and pieces. Can't remember everywhere because it's a long time since I've done it, but that's the options for reflexology. So like I say, if you're looking at getting a therapy, sort of a general therapy, a well-being therapy, if you've got fatigue, that would be one I would definitely sort of point you towards. I think it's covering the whole body, because when you're doing the treatment, they'll sort of do this around the whole body depending on the therapist. Some will be very light, some will be quite heavy. I was more the heavier type, but some are really, really light, sort of very, very soft touch. So reflexology is a really it's a fascinating subject. There's also there's a lady who was the training I did in New Zealand. The trainer was very really promoted her. The lady's called Chris Stormer. I've got a couple of her books, and she's done a book, and it's called Language of the Feet, and it's reading feet and going off the body language. So his hard skin is an indication of blockage in that area, or something wrong in that area. The right foot is the past, the left foot is the present, and then she mapped the foot, so you'd get it down. You could actually pinpoint where the actual problem is just by reaching mapping the foot, because each toe, each zone was an area. I think it was family and work and something else. I had hoped to do a course with Chris to do Language of the Feet, but unfortunately that never worked out. But yeah, it's a fascinating subject. So again, so besides the reflexology, we've got the aromatherapy. We did to talk about aromatherapy a few months ago. I did one with crystals and aromatherapy. Again, aromatherapy's been around for I don't know how long. And that is using essential oils in a carrier oil for a specific reason. The carrier oils are, for example, olive oil, grapeseed oil, coconut oil. They're they're like the water in the cordial. So if you think of the carrier oil as the water, and the essential oil is the cordial, and the carrier oil and the essential oils both have therapeutic properties, and they all have different therapeutic properties. So you would choose special oils for your issue. Now I have got this dial, and I'm just trying to find. And essential oils are split into three into notes. So if you talk about when you go for perfumes, they'll talk about the low and the medium and the high notes. Essential oils are exactly the same because they use them in perfume. So you got, the low ones are sort of more musty, and then the high ones are very citrus. They don't hang around for long. So let's have a look. I've got my aromatherapy dial. I used to use this all the time, aromatherapy decoder. And let's have a look at find an oil. Right, clary sage, because I think that's a menopause one. Or is it, where's pepper? No, let's do peppermint. And of course I won't be able to find peppermint because it won't be on the dial. Ah, it is. I tell a lie, it was hidden back here. So, unfortunately, it doesn't. Peppermint. The essential oil guide, essential oil and menopause guide that I've done has got a recipe in it for like a spray for hot flushes that involves peppermint. So on here, peppermint would be used for colic, diarrhea, indigestion, so any bowel issues, vomiting, stomachache, pain, colds, fever, heads. And it's got properties of skincare, insect repellent, bactericide, stomach and digestive, it's a relaxant. And you can how can you use it? Well, you can use peppermint oil as a inhalation. So put it in hot water and put a towel over your head and sort of breathe it in. You can use it as in massage. You can use it as a vapor. So put it in an oil burner, and you can also use it in bath. And what you can blend it with, so you can blend peppermint will blend well with lavender, eucalyptus, and marjoram. What's the star? I don't know what the star means. Oh, it irritates the skin, so make sure you dilute it. So yeah, essential oils. The rule of thumb is lavender and tea tree are the only ones you can you can put direct on the skin. Everything else should be mixed in with a carrier oil, for example, grapeseed, olive oil, coconut oil thing. If you're putting it in the bath, you need to put a little drop of milk in as well to help it absorb. Otherwise it'll just sit on the top, because it's an oil, it'll just sit on the top. So if you think of an oil slick, it's exactly the same. So then you've got a sort of aromatherapy. So there's different oils. Again, I've got that resource available if you want it for the aromatherapies. So having it as a massage, just for a relaxation, would get you into that rest and digest mode. If you look at things like Indian head massage, a full Indian head massage is massaging the head, the scalp, the neck, and the upper back. They used to, and then they put oils in your hair. They did that, obviously in India, to sort of help with hair care and things like that. They are really, really relaxing. We used to do a lot of those in offices. People sat at computers all hunched up to sort of unhunch them and stuff like that. But I found them really, a full Indian head massage, I used to come away with a stinking headache. I think because you've all the stimulation to the scalp and the pressure and moving the scalp and stuff like that, and I used to really, really, I'd get a really bad headache. So I never used to I don't like full head massages, Indian head massage. Although they're nice, I don't like the after effects of them because it's getting rid of all the crap that's in your system. So you've got Indian head massage. Ear candling as well. I used to do ear candles, so Hopi ear candles. So basically they are like a fabric that is soaked in sort of wax, and then there's essential oils in that, and they basically put a candle, this special hollow candle, in your ear and burn it. It comes from the Hopi Indians, the American Indians, rather than the Curry Indians, and they used it to clear their head, their brain, sort of their thoughts before going into their trance states, and they went and sat in their tents and did all the hallucinations and stuff like that. I used to love doing those as well. So ear problems, they're a potential, treatment for that. Other than that, it's just so relaxing, because you'll get a bit of massage after to get the, around the lymph and stuff like that. That's ear candling. Then we've got the crystals. Again, I did, when we did the essential oil live, I covered crystals as well. So crystals are a bit woo-woo. It depends how woo-woo you want to go. They are a natural thing. Well, they are natural. They are out of the ground. This is rose quartz, so that's pink. And then I've got some tiger's eye, so that's sort of brown, streaky. It looks sort of like an eye, and you can get different colours of tiger's eye. And this one is yellow, and this is citrine. So they all have, like essential oils, they all have different properties. And I'd been talking to people about crystals, sort of when I was doing my courses. And I thought, oh, that sounds really interesting, I'll go and listen to that. So I signed up for like a weekend introductory course on crystals. And I was sat in this, I think it was done in a school, a sort of out of term time. And we were sat in this room, and some of the people there was only about half a dozen of us. And they were all a bit strange. I thought they were a bit strange, and they were, I want to put crystals. So someone was building an extension, and I was wondering what crystals to put under my extension to help with energy. And I was sat there thinking, these people are all a sandwich sort of a picnic. What the hell am I doing here? They're just absolutely looped. And we had to, during the course, we had to program clear quartz, and clear quartz is clear, basically clear. You can see through it. And they were in wands. You had two wands. You had one wand. You had to have your pointing up the body, and the wand you had it pointing outside the body. And clear quartz is the only crystal that you can program to do whatever you want it to do. So if you want it to help you improve your finances, you can program it to help with finances. If you want it to help with general health, you can do that. Like I say, you can program it for anything. And I can't remember how we did it, but I know when we were doing it, I felt I was being thrown across the room. It was just, the power was just amazing, and from that I've just been hooked with crystals. I've got them all over the house. I have a lot of amethyst around the house, a lot of rose quartz. I love tiger's eye. I love blue agate. But it's fine. They call to you. If you go to a shop that's got crystals in, the one you want will call to you. And when they're finished, when they've done what they want to do, they will then leave you. They're like I say, amazing thing. They'll eventually make their way back. The crystal will make its way back to the earth, or it may be that you give it away to somebody. You feel, I don't need this anymore. I'm going to pass it on to somebody. So going for a crystal treatment, again, that is really, really calming. I'm just going to see if there's something here. So what would happen in a crystal treatment is certificates. More often than not, you would lie on a aromatherapy shock. This is what I'm looking for. You'd lie on a bed, and the basic one would be a chakra. Just of redoing, sorting your chakras out. So the chakras are sort of energy, sort of blocks of energy, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got the root right at the bottom, and then we've got the sacral, solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And each of these, it's not a very good picture. You can sort of see them, where they are. And each chakra has a different colour. It has a different vibration. It relates to different things. It relates to essential oils, elements, different effects, to the zodiac planets. And when they're out of sync, or there's a blockage, that's when we feel not right. So having a crystal sort of chakra rebalancing can really help. So what they would do is they would put a relevant coloured crystal in the relevant place. So for example, your root chakra is sort of, I class it as, if they say I'm here on my little sheet here, what does it say it is? It's between the genitals and the anus. But if you were on the bed, you would put that down by the feet. Your sacral chakra, you would put is around sort of the sort of where the reproductive organs are. So the root chakra is red, the sacral chakra is sort of an orangey colour, and then you've got the solar plexus that's sort of round your the centre, around your sort of belly button, around there, and that's sort of yellow colour. You've then got the heart chakra, sort of in the heart area, obviously, and that's sort of that the colour for that can either be green or pink depending on where you are. And you've got the throat chakra, that's blue, and then you've got your third eye here, and then you've got your crown, so that would be up here. So your throat is blue, the third eye is purple, and then up here, sorry, this is what do they call this? Indigo, and then third eye, the crown is sort of a purple. So you would, for example, the root, you could use red jasper. Orange, you could use moonstone or carnelian. The solar plexus, so that's the yellowy colour, you could use tiger's eye or citrine. The heart, you could use an emerald or green jade or rose quartz, again because I said that's sort of blue. Your throat, you could use lapis lazuli or turquoise. Sorry, not lapis lazuli, turquoise or aquamarine. Third eye, lapis lazuli or sodalite or an opal. And then the crown, you could use, they've got amethyst or crystal or a sapphire or a topaz. So, and then what they do is they'd lie the crystals on you, for example, like that. Although this is in the wrong place. And then you'd lay there for a specific length of time. And what happens is you just lie there and the crystal does what it does, and then when it's finished it will roll off you. You won't move, it'll just drop off because it's done what it has to do, and then you'll get up and you'll feel all your cross chakras will all be aligned and imbalanced, and you'll feel much better. So that's a very non-invasive treatment that's like I said, really, really relaxing, not taxing. So there's the crystals. There's definitely ones for that may help with menopause. I tend to, if I feel like I'm not grounded or I just don't feel well, I will put like a red one to get me sort of more grounded, and I'll stick it in my bra, and just leave it there. And the thing with crystals is making sure you charge them. They need to be charged up like a battery. They run out. You need to clean them because they'll pick up the energy. You want to get rid of the old energy, and especially if you buy a new crystal, make sure you clean it. You run it under. Don't sit it in a bowl of water. You want it running over water, and then leave it in sunshine or the moonlight to charge, and then use it. And then when you've used it or you feel it's sort of not doing much, clean it again, recharge it, and do that. So they're very environmentally friendly, and again, that's a great option. They're relatively cheap depending on the type of crystal that you want. Like I say, you can just stick them down your bra and no one will know you have them, or whatever, you put them wherever you want. So there's a whole range of sort of therapies you could do. Acupressure, again, that's working like acupuncture. That's working on the energy lines that go through your body. Acupressure could help, may help with reflexology, with menopause symptoms if they're putting, using the points around, sort of relevant to what you're feeling or how you're feeling and stuff like that. But any therapy that you do will put you into that rest and digest, unless it's really, really uncomfortable and you really hate it. And that's a good thing, because when you're in that relaxed state, you're going to feel better. Your body's able to go into that rest and digest mode, and just blood pressure will go down, your breathing will slow down, and your body can do what it needs to do. And it's really good. And if you're having therapies like massage or reflexology, it's really important that you look after yourself once you've had the treatment, because you want to carry on with the good work that you've done. So you're making sure you're drinking, you're really, really well hydrated, because you want to clear out any toxins, especially with massage, because they're stimulating the muscles, and if the muscles get tight, there's sort of all sorts of crap collects in there. They get really stiff. So you're getting there loosening it. You want to, the blood's flowing, you're getting the blood flowing, you're getting the lymph moving. You want to make sure you're really well hydrated, so they can clear, your kidneys can clear out all that rubbish and send it back to where it needs to be. So really make sure, try not to, make sure you're drinking plenty, you can rest, you're not going out and running a marathon after you've had a treatment. You want your body to be able to carry on with the work that's been started. The other really amazing treatment, I haven't got my books with me, therapy that I did was Bowen technique. Bowen technique is a hands-on treatment. It's like nothing else you will have tried. It was started by a gentleman in Australia, and he started doing it on horses and dogs. You can still get people that are trained in equine and canine Bowen, and he realised that as animals don't have preconceived ideas, and you can't talk them around to go, oh, this is really going to work, and you go, oh yeah, no, it does. It proved that it works, because he was doing them on animals and they were improving. And basically, Bowen technique is doing very small movements over the body, depending on sort of what's wrong with you. They start off with some basics, and then you can add on. And it's doing a couple of little movements, and then the therapist will walk out the room and leave you. And that is amazing, because you can feel, once they've done these little movements, you can feel the changes. You can feel this energy moving and things moving through your body and changing. And that was the last therapy I trained in. And I was doing it, Sandra, who's the physio who did the pelvic floor talk for me, she was the one that got me into Bowen. She was doing Bowen. She said, oh, you need to do Bowen, Julie. So I signed up for Bowen, the Bowen training. Absolutely loved it. And we had to do case studies. One of the girls I can't remember how many did. The two that really stand out was one girl that had MS and one girl that was in a car accident. The girl with MS used to have, I think it was an injection she had on a sort of month, and usually after her injection she was really unwell. But she came to me, I did her treatment the day before, or sort of the morning before she had her therapy, treatment, and she had no side effects from it whatsoever. And it was like, she said, I can't believe it, I just feel so well after it. And that was fantastic. And the other girl I was doing was just doing sort of general, she hadn't, at the time she signed up for it, she hadn't had the car accident. She was just going to be a case study, feedback and, tell me how she went. I'd been one of her case studies when she was doing sort of beauty and things like that, so it was like payback. And she was on the way to see me for a treatment when she was in a car accident. So that's all minor sort of bump. And she phoned up, she said, I can't come, I just had a car accident. So I was saying to Sandra, oh, she can't come. And Sandra said to me, get her in now. We need to go ahead and do it. We need to get in and do the Bowen right now. Sandra, being a physio, she used to work a lot with people who had been, whiplash injuries and stuff like that. So we did the Bowen therapy with this girl, and I finished. I think I went to. Sandra ended up carrying on seeing her because I ended up moving to New Zealand. And Sandra said to me, she said it was absolutely amazing. So because the whiplash injury just did not appear like it would have normally done because we had done the Bowen right at the very beginning, rather than waiting until there was an issue and then trying to realign her. It had sort of started working on improving it. So what it does, it sort of rejigs the body and puts it back to where it normally is. When I started doing the course, I was like, I don't know how, I just couldn't understand how it worked. I just didn't get it. And I remember I was booked to do an agency shift at a hospital in the afternoon, and I was messing around in the garden, and I pulled my back. So I had to cancel the shift. And I phoned up Sandra and said, look, I've pulled my back, I can't walk, and I've had to cancel work. Can you come and do some Bowen on me? So I went into to her rooms later that night to see a colleague of hers that had done Bowen as well. And I walked in, sort of bent over, doubled up. I managed to drive, but like I said, I was walking doubled over. She did the Bowen on me, and I walked out of the place, stood up. So Bowen is an absolutely amazing thing. Like I say, really, really small movements. It's just sort of, it's really hard to say. It's like, just doing like a little push in different parts of the body. So you look at, there's ones for, so if you've got carpal tunnel, there's a carpal tunnel move that can improve your carpal tunnel. So I sometimes get, sort of like carpal tunnel pain. So that's down there. It means the nerve that goes down into your hand, and there's a sheath over it, and it just gets really, really tight. And I used to, with working in theatre, we used to do a lot of carpal tunnel releases, and when they used to open it up, you could see the nerve was just white because it was just so under such pressure, and you just release the sheath, and it would just sort of spring back. And what I do is, if I feel I get if I find I'm getting pins and needles, is I will rub, just massage up there and try and loosen everything up. And that's worked for me. Putting a surgeon out of business. But yeah, so it's finding, trying to look out the box. If you feel that that what you're doing is not working, or you don't want to go down normal medical route, look for different, look out into the sort of outside the box and look for complementary therapy. I was doing an assessment yesterday with a lady who's got really bad anxiety. She's been through, for the year, she's been through therapy. She's done CBT. She's done everything that she should be doing. She's now realised she's not breathing properly. So she wants to work with a breath coach. So if you've tried other things, go, look for something outside the box that may well help you. This is like, if HRT is not working, you want to be looking for your life, it's like looking for the lifestyle habits as well. How can you improve the lifestyle? Because you need to improve that lifestyle, and doing these therapies will help with overall general health. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of different types of therapies. Like I said, I've found so many certificates today of courses I've forgotten I've done, like the metamorphic technique. That was a type of reflexology, from what I remember. It's non-invasive, gentle, it heals. It is concerned with change and transformation that can occur on a number of levels: physical, mental, emotional behaviour. So this, it's just looking. And if you want any advice on sort of different therapies and stuff like that, let me know. Like I say, I've done a whole load. If you've got questions, give me, drop me a shout. But like I say, it's thinking outside the box. If what you've tried before has not worked, maybe look outside the box. And again, sort of with sort of general menopause management, again, sort of look, maybe think about working with a coach or someone that you feel comfortable. It doesn't have to be me. Have a chat, interview people, have a chat with them, see what they offer and if you feel that's a good fit. So I'm not going to carry on anymore because I'm going a bit longer than I thought. So I hope it's been helpful. Like I say, there's so many different therapies out there. It's finding one that you feel comfortable with and finding the therapist that you're comfortable with. I've had sort of reflexology with numerous therapists, numerous practitioners, and some are fantastic, and some I wouldn't touch with a barge pole. But it's finding that one that suits you. So I'm going to leave it now. If you want any further information, drop me a line. I'll try and put something together about therapies and things like that, and maybe put something together for reflexology, so you can sort of work on your own feet or hands and stuff like that. So like I say, if you've got sort of general aches, pains, maybe think reflexology, maybe think Bowen, or even massage. Go your aromatherapy massage and stuff like that, because they've all got the techniques. Is finding one that you feel comfortable with, and that you're going to get the benefit from. And just a reminder, we've got the challenge as well. Really excited about this challenge. So starting 27th of January, fingers crossed. So 4-week challenge. So week 1 we're going to have a group call, then an individual call. You're going to choose, when you sign up, you'll pick an activity from the menopause plan. So you'll pick hydration, or you'll have a choice of hydration, morning and evening routines, diet, movement, decluttering, setting boundaries and asking for help. And you'll choose one of those that you're going to work on for the 2 weeks. So I encourage you, if you're signing up, choose the one that you feel needs the most work. Because if you're already really good at exercising and you're really good at drinking, you're not really going to get the benefit that you would do if you weren't moving and you weren't drinking. So I'd encourage you to pick the one that you really need to work on. And then we're going to look at, we're going to get you to set a goal. We're going to talk a little bit about mindset. And then on the individual call, we're going to talk about the barriers that are going to stop you, because your brain will try and stop you. And we don't want your brain to stop you. We want you to be prepared. So it's like, we plan the journey. We know where we're going to go, and we're going to avoid those barriers. And then for the 2 weeks, we're going to get you to join the Voxer, which is a free app. It's walkie-talkie. You just leave a message, and you can type it or speak it. And I'm going to check in every day and go, how are you doing? What's the plan for today? How's your goal setting going? How's your mindset? How are you going with your, doing your activity? Because what we're wanting you to do is that activity that you've chosen. I'm going to encourage you to do a little bit more. How can you improve on it? And do it in stages. So if you're, for example, you're not drinking a lot of, you're only drinking 500 mils of water, and you want to get to 1 litre or 2 litres, we're not going to say, right, on day 1 you're going to start on 2 litres. It's how can you improve it. So it's looking at adding an extra glass in slowly in each day, and then it becomes more of a habit. We're going to do it over the 2 weeks, because you're getting there to the point where that's now nearly becoming a new habit. So I encourage you to pick that activity that you need to work on the most, and now you'll get the benefit from having it. So you'll do the 2 weeks of increasing or improving on what you're already doing, and then the last week we're going to have a final group call. We're going to celebrate the wins that you've had, because you will have had wins. You might not have been able to do what you wanted to do every day, but you'll have done some of it. You'll have made an effort. You will finish off better than where you started. and we're going to celebrate that. And then we're going to get you to set another goal for going forward. You know, what do you want to be in another where do you want to be in another 4 weeks? What are you going to do next? Are you going to carry on with what you're working on, the one that you're already doing, or are you going to look at something else? We're going to get a bit of feedback, what you thought about the challenge, if it was helpful, etc., etc. So when we run another one, I can tweak it, and then you will have a final individual call again to celebrate. We can have a chat, see how you felt it went, you know. And then if you need any further support, if you want to come and sign up for a program, or you want to talk through program options and have a think about it, there's not going to be no pressure. And if you sign up for the program, you'll get the money back, knocked off it from the challenge, off the full price of the program. So you're getting a discount if you sign up. So if you're interested in doing the challenge, let me know. Like I say, it's going to be, it's limited to 8 places. That way I've got the time to give you that individual support. You're going to get the coaching through the 4 weeks, you're going to get that support through the 4 weeks to encourage you to keep moving forward, because when we try and do things by ourselves, we give up, because we haven't got that accountability. And I encourage you, if you're doing it, that you do check in every day and let me know how you're going. And if you fall off the wagon or you have a really bad day, let us know, because then we can support you and get you back on for the next day. Because that's working with a coach is the thing that propels you forward. They're there as support. They're there as like your crutch, your walking stick. You're encouraging. We encourage you. We'll push you. You know, can you do a bit more? You'll think, oh no, I can only do this much, but your coach will push you. If you think of it like a sports coach, but this is sort of working on menopause. And at the end of it, you know, I'm hoping you'll be feeling a lot better. You've spent some time getting into that rest and digest, concentrating on you, and it will help you feel better and get you into that good start and kickstart that relief, which is what I want it to do. I want you to kickstart 2025 with your menopause symptoms more under control and you in control of your symptoms. So please do think about joining. It's £97. That way you've got a bit of pressure, because you've put you've invested in the challenge, rather than doing it for free and you think, oh, it doesn't matter, it didn't cost me anything. If you put a cost on it, it's that encouragement. Oh, I've paid for it, I want to get my money's worth out of it. And you're getting a lot for your money's worth. You're getting sort of 4 weeks of coaching and support, as well, you know, along with the challenge. So it's a really good bargain, and it's a really good way of tasting what the menopause plan, which is what is all my programs are based on, would be like to do if you were to do the full plan, if you will. It also gives you an opportunity of seeing what it's like to work with me, because you sort of know what you'll be having one-to-ones, and sort of the group calls, you know, the Voxer support and stuff like that, rather than just me talking at a screen and you sitting there listening to me and doing a bit of typing. So that is the challenge. So thank you for watching. Appreciate you watching the rain. Hope you're having a good new year so far. And to anybody else who watches, do let me know if you've watched it. So I know I'm not sort of just talking to me in the rain. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments. If you want a copy of the crystal or the aromatherapy and menopause resources, let me know. I can definitely share those with you. And I will try and put something together sort of for the reflexology and some points, and try and pull some complementary therapy things together and put those in for you. So I've gone a lot longer than I expected. So have a good evening, and next week, the 16th, not come up with a topic. So if you've got a specific area about perimenopause, menopause, let me know. If not, I will try and come up with something. And then the week after the 23rd, I think we'll probably try and do the virtual social. So I'll get that set up. If you're in Tenbury Wells or in the nearby area, we've got the social on Saturday at Sense on Team Street. That's 10:30. It's free to attend. So come and say hi, have a little chat, we talk about the weather or menopause or whatever you want. So if you don't know where Sense is, drop me a message and I can give you directions. And if you're not from Tenbury, come and say hello. Come and have a look at the sandbag wall from the floods, and and yeah, we've got a few cafes and shops and pubs. It's a nice little town, so if you've never been to Tenbury before and you're in the area, pop down, say hello and have a look round town. So I am definitely going now. Have a fantastic evening, and again, Lorraine, really appreciate you joining me. Have a good evening, and don't forget to let me know if you watch. Do a hashtag replay, put your questions in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Take care.